Welcome to the topic 4, which looks at the role a company's functional level strategies play in gaining competitive advantage. In the internal analysis topic, we learned how valuable, rare, inimitable resources that are well organized within an enterprise form the foundation of competitive advantage. These resources reside in the value creation activities or the functions of a company. We explained this in the last week topic of internal analysis using the concept of value chain analysis. In today's topic of functional level strategies, we are going to take a closer look at how a firm can use functional level strategies to build valuable resources that enable a company to attain the 4 building blocks of competitive advantage, which include superior efficiency, superior quality, superior innovations, and superior customer responsiveness. More specifically, how an enterprise can use its functional level strategies to improve its efficiency, quality, innovation, and customer responsiveness is going to be the focus of today's session. So what is functional level strategy? Functional level strategies are actions that managers take to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of one or more of the value creation activities. We are already aware that there are two different types of value creation activities in an organization. They could be primary activities which create value directly, and the other types of activities which also create value but do so in an indirect way. They are called support activities. For example, in an university, teaching and research are the two primary activities that create value directly. Without these activities, no academic institutions would be called a university. But universities also need support activities such as human resource activities involving recruitment, selection, and development of academic staff to facilitate the performance of their main activities of research and training. In a business organization, primary and support activities generally include manufacturing, research and development, marketing, materials management, and human resources. Managers can take various actions to improve this function with the aim of attaining the 4 building blocks of competitive advantage, which are efficiency, quality, customer responsiveness, and innovations. For example, when managers takes action to improve the functions of manufacturing, they may help achieve both efficiency and quality. This figure shows how a firm can use functional level strategies to build the valuable, rare, inimitable resources and capabilities which are the basis of firm's distinctive competencies. Apple, for example, has distinctive competencies in design, while Toyota has distinctive competencies in the development and operation of manufacturing process. These distinctive competencies enable a company to pursue a differentiation or a low-cost strategy. Sometimes a company uses both low-cost and differentiation strategies, then we call it hybrid strategies. But principally, low-cost and differentiation are the two basic strategies for creating value, which lead to competitive advantage and above average profit. We take the case of Apple to explain this a little bit more in here. We already established that Apple has distinctive competencies in design. So because of that distinctive competencies, Apple is able to offer differentiated product that creates more benefits, more values, and more utility for its customers. How it is differentiated? because it is differentiated in terms of the quality, in terms of innovations, and because it is differentiated from its competitors' products, customers are willing to pay premium price for Apple's iPhone or Apple's product. Now, if Apple is able to lower its cost structure, then Apple will also be able to create values compared to its rivals. For example, if their cost is now low in offering or in producing the product, they will be able to offer the product at a cheaper price. Now, that is how either or by being a differentiator and by being a low-cost provider, Apple is creating values in both ways. And we already know that value is measured in terms of price minus cost. Because Apple is able to charge premium price, and because it is also able to offer the product or offer to make the product at a lower cost, so Apple is able to create more value compared to its rivals, and that is how they have achieved competitive advantage and superior profitability and profit growth. So if you as a manager of your company want to achieve competitive advantage, you can do it by increasing the value for your customers. That means by offering product that creates more utility and benefits for the customers. At the same time, you try to lower the cost structure, then you will be able to create more value than your rivals, and that is how you will be able to achieve competitive advantage, superior profitability, and superior growth. So how a company can use its functional level strategies to build valuable resources or distinctive competencies that enable a company to attain the 4 building blocks of competitive advantage. We begin our discussion on how the different functions in the organization actually enables a company to achieve superior efficiency, one of the building blocks of competitive advantage. Now, efficiency is measured by the cost of inputs required to produce a given output. An efficient company has higher productivity than its rivals. That means the more efficient a company, the fewer inputs required to produce a given output, and therefore the lower the company is able to lower its cost structure. Now, economies of scale are unique cost reduction associated with large scale of output. So if the company can achieve economies of scale, they will be able to reduce their cost, and that can be done if we are able to produce, or if we are able to spread our fixed cost over a large volume of production. Now, fixed costs are costs that must be incurred to produce regardless of the level of output, such as salary of full-time permanent staff. This can be explained with an example, like if a company has a marketing staff who is responsible for supervising the marketing people in the company, and if the target in every hour is to sell 10 units, and if the person salary, if the marketing staff salary is $10 per hour, then per unit fixed cost would be 10 units divided by $10, so it's $1 per unit. Now this, if the company can sell 20 units per hour, that means the fixed cost per unit would be going down to from $1 to 50 cents, because now we have to divide 20 divided by 20 units divided by $10 per hour, so the cost is going down. So this way, the more and more a company produce, it will be able to reduce the cost per unit, fixed cost per unit. Okay, another source of scale economics is the ability of companies to produce in large volumes to achieve a greater division of labor or specialization. If the company is able to achieve specialization, it means the company's employees' productivity will be increased, because specialization enables individuals to become highly skilled, because of they are doing the same job time and again, so they will be highly skilled at performing a particular task, so they will be able to produce more compared to the other people or other companies which are not able to achieve specialization. However, please note that these economies of scale do not continue for an indefinite period of time. This unit cost increases after a certain point of production. So typically these economies of scales are reached at very high volumes due to increased bureaucracy and the resulting inefficiency. We can see that there will be a lot of bureaucracy once we start producing more. The company structure will be bigger, there will be more managers, and decision making would be more time consuming, and then more wastage of the resources. So that is how we can see that in this diagram, if you can see that at Q1 point, the minimum cost, it is the minimum cost point. After this point, the average cost curve starts increasing. That means the more we produce, we start seeing more cost instead of less cost per unit. So managers must know the extent of economies of scale as well as where these economies of scale begin to occur. So it doesn't mean that if we keep on producing more and more, our cost is going to go down and down, because after one point, due to the bureaucracy, due to the inefficient, due to the other kind of problems, I will give you an example in here. We can see that these economies of scale begin to occur. Now if we take the example, or if we can expand the example of this marketing staff who is now making 20 units, sorry, selling 20 units per hour, so the per unit fixed cost is now down to 50 cents. But if you ask the person to sell more units, like 30 units, 40 units, the person would probably work harder. The person will need more supervisors and that means it will increase the cost. Harder means he will ask for sick leave, and probably more stress, more fighting, argument. All these kind of things will ultimately lead to increase the fixed cost instead of decreasing the cost. Another way a company is able to achieve efficiency is through learning effects. Learning effects refer to cost savings that come from learning by doing. So the more and more the workforce do the same job, their productivity increases because they are now expert in doing that job. They can do the job faster without many mistakes. So that is how their productivity increases. Learning effects are most important in a technologically complex task that is repeated, because there is more to learn. In terms of the unit cost curve of a company, economies of scale implies a movement along the curve. In here you can see it moves from point A to point B. However, the realization of learning effects implies a downward shift of the entire curve as both labor and management become more efficient over time at performing their task at every level of output. However, please note, no matter how complex the task is, learning effects typically diminish in importance after a period of time. They are most important only during the startup phase of a new process and become trivial after a few years. When the company's production system change due to innovation or technological advancement, the learning process must begin again. The next point of discussion is the experience curve and the superior efficiency. The experience curve refers to the systematic lowering of the cost structure and consequent unit cost reductions that have been observed to occur over the life of a product. According to the experience curve concept, unit manufacturing cost of a product typically decline by a characteristic amount each time accumulated output of the product is doubled. By accumulated output, we mean is the total output of a product since its introduction. The concept was first observed in the airline industry, and the concept is perhaps most important in those industries where the production process involves the mass production of a standardized product. For instance, the manufacturing of semiconductor chips. If a company wishes to attain a low-cost position, it must try to move down the experience curve as quickly as possible. This figure shows how a company can achieve low cost or how a company can lower its cost when the experience curve concept is applied. According to this concept, the cost of 10th unit typically is, say, 70% or 80% of the cost of 5th unit. The cost of 20th unit is typically 70% or 80% of the cost of 10th unit. The cost of 40th unit is typically the 70 or 80% of cost of the 20th unit. So it follows this pattern when the output gets double each time. Why is that? It is because of the economies of scale and learning effects. As the company increases the accumulated volume of output over time, it is able to realize both economies of scale because now we have more volumes to produce, and also due to the learning effects. Consequently, the unit cost and cost structure fall with the increase in accumulated output. The experience curve suggests that increasing a company's product volume and market share will bring cost advantage over its rivals. So the lesson is, if a company wishes to attain a low cost position, it must try to move down the experience curve as quickly as possible. Managers, however, should avoid being complacent about efficiency-based cost advantage derived from experience effects. This is because neither learning effects nor economies of scale sustain forever, as we have just discussed. So the experience curve is likely to bottom out at some point. Over time, the other concern is that over time, other companies also will be able to lower the cost structure and match the cost leader. In this situation, if a company really wants to sustain its competitive advantage for a longer period of time, then the managers must be focusing more on the strategic factors other than simply lowering the cost structure by using existing technologies. Factors such as better responsiveness to customers, product quality, and innovation should rather be the focus of managers here. Now, when we discussed the concept of economies of scale, we found that a company can achieve low cost per unit only when it produces large volume of standardized product. This, however, limits companies' ability to produce a variety of products or customization of its product. These limitations can be addressed by adopting flexible manufacturing technology. If you can see the figure in here in the left hand side, it shows that when a company produces standardized product under traditional manufacturing technologies, their cost goes down, per unit cost goes down. But as soon as they try to make customized product or different varieties of product, their cost starts rising at a very sharp rate, as represented by the pink line in here. But on the right hand side, if you see the flexible manufacturing technology, if they produce standardized product similar to the traditional manufacturing technology, their cost goes down. But when they produce also at the same time the customized product, their cost increases, but at a very smaller rate. So the impact of this can be seen in the total cost curve, per unit cost curve or average cost curve. We can see that that goes down all the way, unlike the total cost curve, which takes the U shape in traditional manufacturing technology. That is, up to a certain point the cost goes down, and then that means they achieve economies of scale. But after that point, they see that the cost starts rising, which is they are experiencing these economies of scale. These things doesn't happen in case of flexible manufacturing technology. That means the company's cost curve is going down all the way. Now, research suggests that the adoption of flexible production technologies may increase efficiency and lower unit cost relative to what can be achieved the mass production of a standardized product, while at the same time it enables the company to customize its product offering to a much greater extent. Now, why it happens? It happens because of this. So this mainly happens because the flexible production technologies or manufacturing technologies covers a range of technologies designed to reduce setup times for complex equipment. It increases the use of individual machines through better scheduling and improve quality control at all stages of the manufacturing process. So the research suggests that the adoption of flexible production technologies may increase efficiency. At the same time, it enables the company to customize its product offering to a much greater extent. Therefore, flexible manufacturing technology helps reconcile two goals once thought to be incompatible. One is the low cost, and the other one is the differentiation through product customization. Companies such as Domino's Pizza, Dell Computer, automobile companies, they pursue massive customization strategies when they allow their customers to build their own order online. The growing use of robotics, sophistication of artificial intelligence, and automation has dramatically reduced the labor cost and increased the productivity in a variety of industries. South Korea is the world leader in robot use, while other countries like China, Japan, USA have also been in the race of adopting robot in their production process. Similar trends are also emerging in case of automation. Companies like Uber, Google, Tesla are investing heavily in developing self-driven car. So far, we have discussed how a company can use its functional level strategies to achieve superior efficiency. We concluded that if a company wishes to achieve superior efficiency, then it should pursue economies of scale and learning economics, as well as it should implement flexible manufacturing technologies. Now, the marketing strategy that a company adopts can have a major impact on efficiency too. Marketing strategy refers to the position that a company takes with regard to market segmentation, pricing, promotion, advertising, product design, and distribution. Marketing strategy can help increase efficiency by using aggressive pricing, promotion, and advertising to improve sales. One important aspect to understand is that marketing functions can help efficiency by reducing the customer defection rate. Customer defections are the percentage of a company's customers who defect every year to competitors. That means they leave our company and they buy product from other companies or competitor companies. Now, defection rates are determined by customers' loyalty, which in turn is a function of the ability of a company to satisfy its customers. Because acquiring a new customer often entails one-time fixed cost, there is a direct relationship then between defection rates and cost. The longer a company retains a customer, the greater the volume of customer generated unit sales that can be set against these fixed costs, and the lower is the average unit cost of each sale. An economic benefit of long-term customer loyalty is the free advertising that customers provide for a company. So, if we can retain our customers, if we can make loyal customers, they can dramatically increase the volume of business through referrals, and it ultimately saves companies advertising cost. That means our efficiency is increased even by making loyal customers. If a company wishes to reduce defection rates, then it has to identify customers who have defected, find out why they have defected, and act on that information so that other customers do not defect for similar reasons in the future. To take these measures, the marketing function must have information systems capable of tracking customers' defection. The materials management function in a company can also enhance company's efficiency. Material management encompasses the activities necessary to get inputs and components to a production facility, through the production process, and through a distribution system to the end users. For a typical manufacturing company, materials management and transport costs account for 50 to 70% of its revenue. So even a small reduction in this cost can have a substantial impact on profitability. Improving the efficiency of the materials management function typically requires the adoption of a just-in-time inventory system, which is designed to economize on inventory holding cost by scheduling components to arrive at a manufacturing facilities just in time to enter the production process, or to have goods arrive at a retail store only when the stock is almost depleted. The drawback of JIT system is that it leaves a firm without a buffer stock of inventory. Although buffer stocks of inventory are expensive to store, they can help tide a firm over shortages on inputs brought about distribution among suppliers and can help a company respond quickly to increase in demand. The efficient materials management and inventory has been recast in terms of supply chain management, that is, the task of managing the flow of inputs and components from suppliers into the company's production process to minimize inventory holding and maximize inventory turnover. The research and development function can help a company achieve a greater efficiency and a lower cost structure in two principal ways. First, it can boost efficiency by product innovation, that is, they can design products that are easy to manufacture. They can also cut down on the number of parts that make up a product. This is how research and development function can dramatically decrease the required assembly line, which results in higher employee productivity, lower costs, and higher profitability. Secondly, research and development function can help a company achieve a lower cost structure through pioneering process innovation. A process innovation is a new and unique way that production process can operate to improve their efficiency. By cutting down for example, by cutting down the number of steps in the production process, companies can save cost and therefore achieve efficiency. Employee productivity is a key determinant of an enterprise's efficiency, cost structure, and profitability. Productive employees lower the costs of generating revenues, increase the return on sales, and by extension boost the company's return on invested capital. Now the challenge is how a company should devise ways to increase employee productivity. So there are 4 strategies that the company can take. Number 1 is hiring strategy. The hiring strategy of the company should be consistent with its own internal organization, culture, and strategic priorities. For example, Southwest Airlines hires people who have a positive attitude and who work well in teams because it believes that people who have a positive attitude will work hard and interact well with customers, therefore helping to create customer loyalty. Second is the employee training. Employee training upgrades employee skills levels, bringing the company's productivity related efficiency gains from learning and experimentation. Trained employees can perform the task faster and more accurately and are more likely to learn the complex tasks associated with many modern production methods than are individuals with lesser skills. Number 3 is the self-managing team. The use of self-managing teams whose members coordinate their own activities and make their own hiring, training, work and reward decisions has been spreading rapidly. Now the effect of introducing self-managing teams is reportedly an increase in productivity of 30% or more and a substantial increase in product quality. Further cost savings arise from eliminating supervisors and creating a flatter organizational hierarchy, which also lowers the cost structure of the company. So if you work in a team, self-managing team, you really do not need any manager. And we know that managers are highly expensive to employ. In many countries, it varies from 17 to 85% higher salary that managers are getting compared to their executives or operating level employees. So saving managers cost could be a bigger savings in a company which contributes to achieve economies of scale. And because we have fewer number of managers, we also have a flatter organization in here. Flatter structure can also save cost in many ways, because our supervision cost, our communication would be easier, so it saves our time as well. Now, self-managing teams, however, may fail to live up to their potential unless they are integrated with flexible manufacturing technology. Also, teams place many management responsibilities upon team members, and helping team members to cope with these responsibilities often requires substantial training, a fact that many companies often forget in their rush to drive down cost. The final strategy excuse me, that a company can devise in their human resource function is called pay for performance. Sometimes this can help. The challenge is what kind of job performance should be rewarded and how that should be that is should the pay and bonus be linked with individuals or group performance. So this is a question. Some if the pay and bonus are linked with the individual's performance or group performance. Sometimes we see when people work in group or team, there is a tendency for some people who work really hard, and there are few people who really do not do any kind of work. So it varies actually. In some organization we may see people like that, and then the question is whether this pay should be linked with the individual performance or group performance. So let's now see how the company's information system and infrastructure can contribute to efficiency gain. The impact of information systems on productivity is wide-ranging and potentially affects all other activities of a company. Here we can save cost by moving customer service and ordering online. We can automate our customer and supplier interactions, and we can also reduce physical stores. This is how companies can substantially reduce the number of people required to manage different interfaces and thereby reducing costs. Now, a company's infrastructure, that is an organizational structure, culture, style of strategic leadership and control system, determines the context within which all other value creation activities take place. Improving infrastructure can help increase efficiency and lower its cost structure. Strategic leadership is especially important in building a company-wide commitment to efficiency. One of the leadership tasks is to facilitate the cross-functional cooperation needed to achieve superior efficiency. So the leadership is very important. If the leader is not committed to achieve efficiency, then nothing is going to happen. So far, our discussion was centered around how a company through its functional level strategies can help achieve superior efficiency. We concluded that different value creation functions have to perform different roles in order to achieve this efficiency. For example, the company leadership should provide company-wide commitment to efficiency, and then they should also facilitate cooperation among functions. Production functions, wherever appropriate, can pursue economies of scale and learning economics. They should also implement flexible manufacturing technology. Marketing functions can adopt aggressive marketing to write down the experience curve and they should also limit customer defection rates by building brand loyalty. Materials management department can implement just-in-time inventory system, and they should also implement supply chain coordination. Research and development department should design products that are easy to manufacture, and they should also seek process innovations. Information system should design systems to automate process, and they should also design systems to reduce cost of coordination. Human resource department should institute training programs to build skills, implement self-managing team. They should also implement pay for performance, and they should develop a hiring strategy for the company which is consistent with its own internal organization, culture, and strategic priorities. Now let's move to see how the various value creation activities can enhance companies' three other building blocks of competitive advantage. We start with the superior quality. There are other two like innovations and customer responsiveness. We'll be discussing this in the next few slides. So let's start with the superior quality. Quality, if a company can achieve superior quality, it can it is advantageous for two reasons. First of all, quality allows the company to differentiate and thus charge a premium price for its product. Not only quality, also like when a company is able to make the product differentiated in terms of customer responsiveness and innovation, the company will be able to charge premium price for the product. So that is one advantage. The second advantage is, like we already know, like that all the building blocks of competitive advantage are interrelated. So this is how we can see that when a company is able to achieve superior quality, it will also help them to reduce the cost, because improved quality means that cost decrease because of less rework, fewer mistakes, fewer delays, fewer complaints from customers, and better use of time and materials. Now, quality can be seen from two perspectives. One is quality as reliability, and the other one is quality as excellence. Now, how can a company attain superior reliability? The principal tool that most managers these days use to increase the reliability of their product offering is the Six Sigma quality improvement methodology. The Six Sigma methodology is a direct descendant of the total quality management philosophy that was widely adopted. The philosophy underlying total quality management, as articulated by Deming, is based on a 5-step chain reaction, and now we are going to discuss those steps. So the philosophy underlying total quality management is based on the following 5-step chain reaction. Step number 1, improved quality means that cost decreases because of less rework, fewer mistakes, fewer delays, and better use of time and materials. As a result, productivity improves. The next step, step number 3, better quality leads to higher market share and allows the company to raise prices. Step number 4, higher prices increases the company's profitability and allow it to stay in business. And step number 5, thus the company creates more jobs. Now, Deming identified a number of steps that should be part of any quality improvement program. So let's see what are those steps. Okay, step number 1, management should embrace the philosophy that mistakes, defects, and poor quality materials are not acceptable and should be eliminated. Number two, quality of supervision should be improved by allowing more time for supervisors to work with employees and training employees in appropriate skills for the job. Number three, management should create an environment in which employees will not fear reporting problems or recommending improvements. Number four, work standards should not only be defined as numbers or quotas, but should also include some notions of quality to promote the production of defect-free output. And finally, management is responsible for training employees in new skills to keep pace with changes in the workplace. Achieving better quality requires the commitment of everyone in the company. Improvement in product reliability is a cross-functional process. We must recognize that its implementation requires close cooperation among all functions in the pursuit of the common goal of improving quality. It should not be only a function of the production department. It is a process that works across functions. Different um, value creation functions in the organization can play different role in implementing reliability improvement methodologies. For example, the leadership should provide leadership and commitment to quality. They should also find ways to measure quality. They should set goals and create incentives for quality. They should solicit input from employees. They should encourage cooperation among functions. Production department can shorten the production runs, and they should also trace defects back to the source. The marketing department should focus on the customer in order to improve the quality, because they can get customers feedback on the product quality, performance, reliability, and excellence. And this marketing department should provide these customers feedback on quality to various other departments, especially research and development and production. Materials management department should rationalize suppliers. They should help suppliers implement quality improvement methodology. So sometimes company need to work together with the suppliers about how the suppliers can improve the quality of the raw materials and other inputs. So we see that this kind of engagement with suppliers is a common practice these days, especially for those companies which focuses on improving the quality of their product. And material management department should also trace defects back to suppliers. If they see that some products or some inputs that the company is receiving from the suppliers, they should trace back it to the suppliers. Now, research and development department should design products that are easy to manufacture. An information system can design system to monitor defect rates. Human resource department can institute quality improvement training program, identify and train black belts who can also train other people, and organize employees into quality teams. A product is comprised of different attributes, and reliability is just one attribute, but a powerful one. And we have seen how or what a company can do to improve the reliability of the products. Products can also be differentiated by attributes that include form, features, performance, durability, and styling of a product. In addition, a company can create quality as excellence by emphasizing attributes of the service associated with the product, such as ordering ease, prompt delivery, easy installation, the availability of customer training and consulting, and maintenance services. Sometimes we see the product quality probably is good, but the way the service was delivered to the customer by the company is not really up to the standard, and then customers develop some kind of negative attitude to the company's product or to the company. So for a product to be regarded as high in the excellence dimension, company's product offering must be seen as superior to that of rivals. So what the company can do in order to enhance its excellence dimension, the managers can do few actions. Number one is managers should collect marketing intelligence that indicate which of these attributes are most important to customers. Once they had identified the attributes that are important to customer, then it needs to design its product and associated service such as like delivery, consulting, maintenance in such a way that those attributes are embodied in the product. Then the company must decide which of the significant attributes to promote and how best to position them in the minds of customer. That is, how to tailor the marketing message so that it creates a customer it creates a consistent image in the minds of customers. Many marketing experts advocate promoting only one or two central attributes to customers. For example, um, you just can say like this: the performance about the product, or the durability, that this product lasts longer, or the reliability. So somehow you just use one or two attributes and you promote them to the customers through your marketing message. Now it must also be recognized that competition is not stationary. It changes constantly on a continuous basis. So what we need to do, our product improvements is also important and that should be done on a continuous basis. We should be adding new attributes and develop new attributes, and also focusing on improving the current attributes. Now it is important to have a strong research and development functions in the company that can work with marketing and manufacturing to continually upgrade the quality of these attributes that are designed into the company's product offerings. Or they can also not only the upgrading but also finding new attributes, adding new attributes into the company's product offering. So in the last few slides, we discussed about how a company's different value creation activities can enhance superior quality. Now we move to another building blocks of competitive advantage. I should rather say one of the most important building blocks of competitive advantage, which is superior innovation. In many ways, innovation is the most important source of competitive advantage because it can result in new products that better satisfy customer needs, can improve the quality or attributes of existing products, and also can reduce the cost of making products that customers want. Now, innovation is perhaps the most powerful building block of competitive advantage, as no advantage lasts forever and rivals will always eventually imitate the valuable products and process that you have developed. The only way a company can stay ahead of their competition is through constant innovation in products and in process. Nevertheless, innovation alone may not be enough to generate high returns. It is the joining of innovation with superior efficiency, quality, and customer responsiveness that is particularly valuable. Successful new product launches are catalyst for superior profitability. Profitability. However, the failure rate of innovation is high due to a variety of causes. So let's focus on those causes. Although, as we say, that innovation is critical, but for many reasons we see that innovations often fails. Research evidence suggests that only 10 to 20% of major R&D projects are successful. Innovations usually fails for 5 reasons. So these 80 to 90% cases it failed, and that failed for 5 reasons. Number 1, many new products fail because the demand for innovation is inherently uncertain. We are not really sure at what uh, uh, level or what level of demand is there in the market. Sometimes with good market research we can minimize this uncertainty about the likely future demand, but still a certain failure rate is to be expected. Number 2, new products often fail not because there is no demand, but because the product is poorly commercialized. So the product is that there is a demand, but the product is not well adapted to customer needs because of factors such as poor design and poor quality. Customers probably do not want that kind of product, but there is a demand for this product, but the quality is not that good and the design is probably faulty. Then the number 3, the new products may fail because of poor positioning strategy. Now, positioning strategy is the specific set of options a company adopts for a product based upon 4 main dimensions of marketing. We already know the 4 P's. Marketing piece, so is price, placement, promotion and advertising, and product features. Now, probably the product is not positioned in the right way. Maybe the promotion or advertising that we are doing, we are not able to attract customers, or we do not have enough distribution channels to deliver our products to the customers, or maybe the price is a little bit higher or maybe a little bit lower, and product features, as I have already mentioned, that the quality or the features attributes may not be there. So the next one is many new product introductions fail because companies often make the mistake of marketing products based on a technology for which there is not enough customer demand. So we are probably making something based on our technological know-how. Maybe a like scientist idea, it's a good idea, but that probably we have failed to translate into the product form that the customers want. Okay, so that is how there is a disconnect between these technology and the actual product that the customers are looking for. And number 5, companies fail when products are slowly marketed. So demand is there, technology is good, quality is good, but and the price is probably also right, but then we are very slow in delivering the product to the market. So in the meantime, maybe some other competitors can come to the market with a little bit of variations in the product features, so we lose in both front. Now, having said that innovation fails in most of the cases, 80 to 90% cases, do we then not do any innovations? That's wrong. Companies should keep on innovating because we have seen how important it is for achieving superior profitability and competitive advantage and giving better service, better values, and better utility to your customers. So innovation can keep your company in the forefront in the industry. So a company should be innovating. Even if we fail, we should innovate. For example, if a pharmaceutical company keeps on investing on coming up with a HIV vaccine, that would be a big revenue generating project for the company. It doesn't matter how much money they have invested in other projects and failed in the same kind of projects and failed. Once they are able to bring this product to the market, that would be a kind of a hot cake, and they will be able to generate enough revenue to cover all the cost of investment in other associated projects of HIV vaccine. So that is why companies should not stop innovating. If you really want to be a differentiator and want to offer better quality products, better service, and if you want to make sure that you sustain your competitive advantage for a long period of time, then you have to innovate. So what we have said, that innovation rates failure rate is very high, but innovation is necessary and critical. So one of the things that managers must do is to see how they can reduce the high failure rate associated with innovation. Now, if innovation is considered a sole responsibility of the research and development department only, then there is a risk. So innovation is actually a cross-functional responsibility and is a cross-functional activity. So what managers need to do, that there is a tight integration between research and development, production and marketing. If the marketing people the marketing people are the one who are actually closely working with the customers, so they are more aware of what kind of demand is there, and the production department also knows how they can make this product at a cheaper cost as well as with high quality uh, attributes. So this is why tight cross-functional integration is needed, because it can help a company to ensure that product development projects are driven by customer needs, new products are designed for ease of manufacturing, development costs are not allowed to spiral out of control, and the time it takes to develop a product and bring it to the market is minimized, and the close integration between R&D and marketing is achieved to ensure that product development projects are driven by the needs of customers. So we see that sometimes product is developed and they have a disconnect between the market and the research and development team. Then it is a dangerous phenomena. What we should be always avoiding, there should be a tight cross-functional integration between R&D, production and marketing. So now we have come to the end of the session. In this section, we are going to learn how a company can achieve superior customer responsiveness. In order to achieve superior customer responsiveness, a company must do three things. One is, it must give its customers what they want. Number two, it must give the customers the product when they want it, and it must give at a price that the customers are willing to pay, as long as the company's long-term profitability is not compromised. Now, customer responsiveness is an important differentiating attribute that can help to build brand loyalty. Achieving superior customer responsiveness means giving customers value for money, and which actually means that the company needs to focus on efficiency. It should give the customer the quality of products that they want. So that means the company should be focusing on superior quality, and it also means that the company needs to develop new products with new features that the customer want. That means the company needs to focus on superior innovation. So if I sum up this thing, that means a customer responsive company needs to focus on three other building blocks: superior efficiency, superior quality, and superior innovations. Now, so a customer responsive company must focus on the customer. That is the first step to building superior customer responsiveness. It must motivate the entire company to focus on the customer. Then the company leadership must show commitment to customer responsiveness. That is very important. A strong leadership commitment is needed in order to be customer responsive. Leadership alone is not enough to attain superior customer focus. Every employee must see the customer as the focus of their activity, and they should be trained to focus on the customer, whether their function is in marketing, manufacturing, R&D, or human resources. The objective should be to make employees think of themselves as customers, or to put themselves in the customer's shoes. I would rather say in that way. Now, the other strategy or other action that the company should do is they should know customers' need. Know thy customer is one of the keys to achieving superior customer responsiveness. Knowing the customer not only requires that employees think like customers themselves, but it also demands that they listen to what customers have to say. This involves bringing in customers' opinions by soliciting feedback from customers on the company's goods and services, and by building information systems that communicate the feedback to the relevant people. Now the final one is you have to satisfy your customer needs. And as I mentioned, efficiency, quality, and innovations are crucial competencies that help a company satisfy customers' need. Beyond that, companies can provide a high level of satisfaction if they differentiate their products by customizing them where possible to the requirements of individual customers. Although it sounds okay or good, but it is a little bit difficult for a company where they have too many varieties of customers and a large number of customers. Customizing your product to cater to the needs of every individual customer may be a very complex kind of process, but if you have a very few selected group of customers, then it is possible. The last one is not the number. The last one is a customer responsive company must reduce the time it takes to respond or satisfy customer needs. Okay, with that we finish this session today. Thank you all. I will see you in the next week with the business level strategies.